So tell me what we discussed mainly in last class.
In principles of planning, aspect was done in first class. Till furniture requirements was done in first class. We saw about circulation, sanitation. Uh,
Okay. In addition to that,
we saw economy, and then building bylaws. We saw
okay, fine. Yeah. So last class mainly we discussed about building bylaws actually. I hope you remember because various I think 8 building laws mainly we discussed. Mainly what is the rules you have to follow. First we discussed about setback distance. How you can fix this setback distance. In setback distance also there are two top terms we discussed. Control line. I hope you remember building line and control line. What is the difference between building line and control line? What is the
The
difference?
setback
Both are
line
same.
in residential building is called as building line,
Okay.
and in case of industrial building, it's called as control line.
Okay. So that also we discussed. Then open space. What is the requirement for open space? You have to provide around surrounding the building. That also we discussed. Then rules and regulations for carpet area. We discussed about two types of area. One is plot area, another is carpet area, and third one is plinth area or built-up area. I hope you can recollect the things. What is the difference between carpet area and built-up area? What is the difference between that built-up area and carpet area? What is the difference? Some people are very silent here.
In carpet area, we will exclude the area of walls.
What?
In carpet area, we will exclude the area of walls.
Carpet area, yes, you are excluding the area of walls. Actually, it's a inner area actually. Inner area of the room you are calculating for carpet area, but in plinth area or you can say plinth area or built-up area, you are calculating the entire area of the building actually, including the area of wall. Wall thickness also you have to consider in order to calculate the plinth area. Then plot area I discussed last class. What is the significance of plot area? So after that we discussed about height of the building. So what is the rules and regulations for height of the building you have to follow. Then we have discussed about what is the provision of front line distance actually and various height of the building. What is the minimum height of the building you need to provide? What is the minimum height of the building you need to provide? That also we discussed in building rules and regulations actually.
2.75 meters.
2.75. Normally you can see here, actually building height will be determined as per actually the height of a person actually. Normally always use the occupancy. Occupancy means the comfort actually. The living being inside actually should be get maximum comfort actually 3 meter height of the building actually. The occupancy as well as the spacing of the building depends on the height of the building. So that's why normally in order to minimize the cost, what people will do, they will reduce the height of the building. So in order to make the maximum occupancy and getting maximum comfort, you have to make minimum height of 2.75 meter. Why? Because you know that normally the door, normally I don't know, you observe the door height is maximum 2 meter actually. How you observed this? Normally the door height is 2 meter, then over the door maybe there is the provision of lintel is there, then again the wall structure will come. So you have to provide minimum to 0.75 meter in between the lintel and that roof structure. So that is the minimum gap you have to provide actually. So that is one thing, that is one of the major thing you need to know. Then in case of institutional building, commercial building or any other kind of educational building, you can observe this height up to 4 meter. 4 meter or above you can observe the height of the single building. So that also you have to take care in this building bylaws. So in addition to that, we discussed various types of building planning principles also. We discussed last class some of the building planning principles also we discussed. So what are the major building planning principles? Anybody can remember? What are the major building planning principles we discussed? Because why we discussed all the things, because I already discussed when you start your drawing, you should incorporate all the things in your drawing. Because aspect, prospect, privacy, grouping, roominess, furniture requirements, circulation, sanitation, elegance, economy. These are all the things we discussed in last class. In last class, especially we discussed about sanitation and circulation, elegance and economy. So why we discuss all the things, you know that because while you do any kind of drawing, when you draw something based on your any plan or something, you have to follow all the aspects, actually all the principle behind building planning in order to make that plan more what to say, fulfill the requirement. In order to fulfill all the requirements, you have to follow whatever the building planning principles behind that drawing. So in addition to that, one more thing is there that I missed last class, something I discussed last class, that is building orientation. Can anybody say what is building orientation? Building orientation. Building orientation. Anybody? Aravindan is there? Aravindan? Yeah, you just answer me. What is the meaning of building planning? Not building planning, building orientation. That's my question. Building orientation, have you heard about the term building orientation? So what is the meaning of that? That's my question. Arrangement of what? Various components of building. Arrangement of various components of building. So here you can see, yeah, arrangement only. Yes, you are right only. Building orientation refers to the way a building is situated on a site and the positioning of windows, roof lines, and other features. This building orientation. It's all related to. We discussed about cross ventilation. We discussed about various things before. Okay. Then lighting. These all will come under this building orientation. So how you are going to arrange actually. How you are going to arrange the things in a particular way. Here you can see, especially how you can make that better positioning of windows, roof lines, and other features in a building. Why we are doing orientation? Because in order to receive maximum ventilation and natural light in all climatic conditions, and provides comfortable living conditions, and how you can utilize the maximum passive sources of solar energy. Because as you know, there are two sources of energy. One is passive sources of energy and second is active sources of energy. So what is the difference between passive and active sources? Anybody can say? What is the difference between passive sources of energy and active sources of energy?
Active sources and passive sources artificial light.
No, it's not audible. What you said?
Active source is sunlight, sir. Passive source is artificial light, like tube lights.
Yes. Yeah. Passive sources means how you are obtaining natural things. Okay, for example, the provision of doors and windows. So you are providing doors and windows. You are providing some glass glazing and everything. What is the use of that actually? So that is called. So what is the active source means sun, solar energy only. Okay, so that is the one thing, and second is no, passive sources means solar energy, and active source means whatever she said. You are using that electrical energy. Okay, that way you are using energy. Here it's you can see passive solar energies means energy from the sun to heat and illuminate buildings actually. So you are using that natural sunlight in order to heat and illuminate buildings actually. So here you can make maximum utilization of natural day lighting in order to facilitate that building actually. So building orientation and building materials also facilitate temperature moderation and by natural day lighting. So active means you are using some additional electricity to power pumps or fans to distribute the sun's energy. That is active solar systems actually. You are using some sort of solar collectors. You can use some solar panels you are using. That is called active solar systems actually. Passive solar systems means directly you are utilizing the sunlight for illumination purpose and everything or heating of the building etc. But if you are using some solar collectors and additional electricity to supply all the things in order to distribute that sun energy, that is active solar systems. So these two ways you can incorporate sources of energy into the building actually. So that is one normally we will do these kind of systems. Normally in active solar systems also we will use passive solar systems. Passive solar system, how we provide in building? How we provide in the passive solar system? Passive solar system means how you are making the building orientation more suitable. That we discussed in last aspect. In aspect, I discussed how you can orient that different rooms actually in different locations in order to get the maximum sunlight, especially for different seasons. So you know that two seasons during summer season or winter season, how you can make the building more comfortable in getting natural light and everything in order to make the room inhabitants more comfortable. So that's why these two things are very much important because how you can make the provision of passive solar energies through proper orientation only. Through proper orientation means how you are positioning your windows and doors facing to the sunlight. So that's why this orientation of building is very much important in order to optimize the energy sources. Suppose if your room is not getting any light means you have to consume that much energy. It's actually that energy demand is more that kind of building actually. So that's actually a big loss. Because suppose you imagine that you have one room is there, but you are utilizing that tube lights or external sources of energy, what will happen actually in during daytime also? Suppose you imagine that that room is highly ventilated or proper arrangement of rooms and there is a provision of natural sunlight entering into the room, that how much energy you can save in both cases we can analyze. So that's why that is very much important, that utilization of proper utilization of passive solar energies and active solar systems in order to make the buildings more, we can see eco-friendly also. So these are the factors affecting building orientation. One is solar radiation. Second is various types of environmental parameters, mainly clouds and rains, humidity and wind velocity, etc. These all things. Major factor is solar radiation only. Because when sun moves and depending on the various directions, east, west, north, south, Accordingly, you can orient the building in order to get the maximum sunlight during winter season and the optimum sunlight during summer season. In that way, you have to make the orientation. That we discussed in aspect how you can make it, living room how you are making arrangement, kitchen is how you are making arrangement, and various rooms actually, study room how you can make arrangement. Everything we discussed in that aspect, you can take that for what to say, for reference. So how you can optimize building orientation, that is another question that we discussed. Some things already we discussed actually. So normally building orientation, so most prior thing is that how you can incorporate passive solar systems into building. So passive solar system incorporation into the building means you can understand that how you can make utilization of the design of the building in such a way that that building can utilize the maximum passive solar system sources for energy in terms of daylighting or anything. So that is the first thing. And second is rectangular floor planes elongated on east-west axis. So east-west axis why we are providing means how you can make that path. You know that the sun path is there. So as based on that sun path, how you can orient the building. So that is a technique normally we need to provide actually when you, because normally you know that because why we are positioning various rooms occupancy. I already discussed in last class, various rooms have their own roles. So we will do proper grouping. In proper grouping also you have to locate in various planes actually. Maybe it's north or north, south, east, west. So it always determines how the sun path are coming actually. The sun always moves east to west. Are you understanding that movement? According to the movement only that illumination will happen. How that sunlight will enter into that particular house actually or particular residential building. So in such a way that you have to orient the building based on the sun path diagram. And another is glazing. Nowadays you can see that the windows are glazed windows nowadays we are using. South facing wall glazed windows in order to diffuse, in order to get the diffused sunlight. You don't need any kind of intense light actually, you need the diffused sunlight through the glazed, because maximum sunlight means it's also very irritation to your eyes and everything. You are not supposed to that, you are in order to get, how you can get the maximum diffused sunlight, the provision of glazed south facing wall. Then thermal storage medium also to expose to the solar radiations. Then light shells, shading devices which sufficiently shade the south facing elevation. Then various actually these whatever we are discussing here is in some cases it's adverse effect also there, because how you can optimize that that radiation, or you can see the light actually. How you can minimize the illumination during winter seasons. During winter season, you know that we will use not only winter seasons, we will use some exterior, what to say. One we will do planting. Another is various types of what to say, barriers, cupboards, not cupboards, curtains like that. Otherwise, we will provide some sort of shading. Sufficient shades we will provide actually, or hangs we will provide actually. So in such a way you can control also. Okay. So so in such a way you have to make utilization of various building components like doors, windows, walls in such a way that you can get the sufficient sunlight to the buildings irrespective of the seasons. So that is the major what to say, major concern behind actually this orientation. How you can make utilization of all these sources of energy without affecting any seasonal impacts. So the last sentence is telling whatever the building designed to serve as active solar collector should not be shaded by nearby trees in buildings should have roof area facing south. That simple meaning I will say, suppose you can use some solar panels. Nowadays you can see most of the institutions, they have solar panels actually. That is an active system actually. Active solar systems actually should not be covered with any trees or something, because otherwise the energy production will become very low because of the reduction in that intensity of the light. So these the things I missed in last class. So orientation also one important thing you need to take care when you draw the plan and drawing. Okay. And another one more thing is there, building dimensions. So building dimensions, which unit system you will use in building drawing? You know that? Anybody have any idea? Which kind of unit system you will follow for the drawing? Any idea?
The feet and feet and inch.
No, I am not hearing. It's not audible.
In feet and inches.
Feet and inches. For drawing, frankly, feet and inches, that is not the method actually. That never we actually for drawing purpose we never use feet and inches. For drawing purpose we always using metrical system actually. All dimensions you should mention in the meters actually. Meters, centimeters or millimeter. We never use inch, feet. But that is a conventional way of normally for when you are what to say, when you are a mode of communication you will say in terms of inches and feet. But in official drawings and everything, we provide metric system actually. Metric unit system we provide especially in building plan and everything. So all units should be in terms of centimeter or millimeter or meter. So that you have to follow normally. So inch system, feet system is there, but you should know. You should know. For example, I am telling you what is that relation between 1 meter square and 1 square feet? What is the relationship between 1 meter square and 1 square feet? 1 meter square equal to how much? What is the how much square feet? That's my question. That you should know. Anybody? What is the relation between square feet and meter square? 10 point. You said something.
So 10 point something approximately.
It's actually 1 meter square equal to 10.76 square feet. So normally what is happening, normally you will tell that measurement in feet actually, but actually in plans we need to draw in metric system. For example, for building you will say actually what is the area, square feet you will say, it may be 1000 square feet. You will say 1000 square feet, otherwise 1200 square feet. But how you can convert into metric system? Meter square means you have to, that 1 meter square equal to 10.76 square feet actually. In such a way, very inches also, everything you can convert into 1 inch, how much centimeter, you know that. So that conversions you should know. But while drawing, suppose some units, if you are given some specifications, if it is given in square feet or inches, you have to convert into centimeters, millimeters or meters. So that's why you should know the conversions. That's very important. How you can convert that unit into metric system, that you should know. Okay. So that's also one important thing in building drawing. So I hope you understand by the last few classes, whatever we discussed, I hope you understand the things. So based on that only we can start the drawing actually. Because if you're not knowing the basic principles of building bylaws and building dimensions and orientation, whatever you draw will not be useful to the customers. So you have to make the sense this way, whatever the drawing should be professional. Whatever you are engineers or architect, there should be some professional touch should come into your drawings. Otherwise, no use for drawings actually. I hope you understand. But here in this course, mainly we are discussing about engineering drawing only, and we are not discussing anything about the architecture point of view. Architect point of view, I already discussed that the main aim to make architect drawing is how you can make that elegance actually. Elegance to get more prioritized actually in that kind of drawings actually. Okay, so that elements also you should it's not necessary for engineering drawing, but architect point of view that elegance have a good priority. Okay, that also you always keep in mind. So here, last class I already discussed you one A4 sheet book. You already purchased or not? How many have? I already told in last class. One drawing sheet, a drawing like that A4 size book is there, like drawing book. You know that. How many purchased? How many of them have? Please raise your hand. No one. Last class I already told you. What happened? First you draw in sheets, then only you can go for AutoCAD. Without drawing in sheets, how you can draw in AutoCAD? First you draw AutoCAD. I already discussed AutoCAD is a tool actually. AutoCAD it's a drawing tool. Instead of drawing actually here the basic things you have to draw here. Then whatever drawing here you have to draw in your AutoCAD sheet. That is a way of doing actually. That is a way of practicing. You are not directly you are not going to AutoCAD. First you learn how to draw the things. After drawing, after practicing there, you are using that AutoCAD tools and you are drawing using AutoCAD. Are you understanding what I am telling? So that is a thing you have to implement actually, because this is a practice you are doing. Okay. After practicing, you can directly go for AutoCAD, no issue. But before that, you have to do drawing. Basic drawings you need to draw. Then only you will learn actually. Then you can use the help actually. Then you can use the help of AutoCAD. You can draw the things actually. Are you understanding? AutoCAD is just a tool actually. That's a medium. But before that, you should know how to draw everything. So next class, I am insisting all of you to have one because if paper, if you use A4 sheet paper, it's not useful actually, because you know that in your drawing section there is plan is there, section is there, elevation is there. So you have to how you project the things. You need to project how you project. Otherwise, you can buy A3 sheet paper. If you don't have a book, you can buy A3 sheets paper. That's also one possibility there. A3 sheets paper also. A3 sheets paper or drawing book or some big size book or something like that. That you have to look into because that's very important. And another thing I want to discuss is the dimensions or scaling. You know the meaning of scaling? In drawing, scaling also very much important because that original dimension, for example, 1 meter building is there. So 1 meter building, you can't draw in 1 meter in your drawing paper or in AutoCAD also. Then 1 meter is there. How you can make the 1 meter into the drawing sheet? That process is called scaling. I hope you understand. In that case, what you do is you make 1 centimeter equal to 30 centimeter or 1 centimeter equal to 25 centimeter. So you are converting that into that small scale systems in such a way that you can reduce that 1 meter into that much scale actually. So that is also very much important. How you can make the scaling purpose. Because 10 meter building, 100 meter square, you can't incorporate 100 meter square in the actual size you can include. That's why you have to scale it properly. So scaling also one important thing you should know in case of drawing. Okay, so that also very much important thing you need to know in drawing. Okay, so what do you need? Any questions? Okay. So here now I am giving one small not assignment, one small activity. So based on that we can start. So next class onwards, I am informing all of you to bring because how you can execute your class activity. First you need to draw that paper or any book. After that only you can execute the things into AutoCAD. Okay, it's a step-by-step process. I hope you understand. So here now I am sharing one plan of 1 BHK building. 1 BHK building. So you will get an idea. You will get an idea and you can find out that what are the issues in that figure, and you can sort out some issues also from that figure. Because before entering into drawing, I already discussed the 3 things you should well aware to draw. One is how to draw the plan of a building, and second is how to draw elevation of a building, how to draw section of a building. That is the 3 things you should know how to make it proper. Okay. So 1 second, I am sharing one figure. Wait. No, yeah. Now it's visible. Is it visible? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here you can see this is a small house actually. You can see here. It's a what to say? It's a residential building plan with 1 BHK. Normally, you know that normally we will say 1 BHK, 2 BHK. 1 BHK means 1 bedroom, hall, kitchen. 2 BHK, 2 bedroom, hall, kitchen. 3 BHK also there. So here it's a very simple plan. I hope you can see this. It's a very simple plan with 1 bedroom, hall, kitchen is there, 1 lavatory there, and step outside stepping also there, 1 veranda there. It's a very simple plan. Very simple plan. You can see. Okay. Okay. Here you can see. In drawing, actually, the thing is that these are the things actually. There are some questions actually. This is the first exercise actually. The first exercise means I given one plan and I given this is called elevation. I hope you can see here. Elevation means, what is the meaning of elevation? About first I will let you know what is the meaning of plan. Anybody can say first you should know about plan. Then only you should understand. You understood what is the meaning of plan?
Top view, sir.
Yeah, plan is a top view. You can see here. Actually, in building, actually any customer, the main thing they were discussing about the plan only, because plan gives the details about the dimensions actually. Inner dimensions, spacing. So through plan only we can see that orientation of the building and that directions of the building, various window positions and door positions, then accessibility, spacing, everything is visible through the plan actually. So plan is very much important, and simply you can say it's a top view actually, top view of the building. Okay, that is plan. And next is elevation. What do you mean by elevation? Elevation, you know that? What do you mean by elevation? Yeah, elevation means elevation. There are different types of elevations are there. Front side elevation is there, back side elevation is there, side elevation also there. I hope you understand. Here, what is this? Front elevation or side elevation? Any idea?
Front.
Yeah, how you said that it is front elevation? How
Door
you can
steps
say
are
it's
there.
front elevation?
Steps are there.
By seeing the entrance.
Yeah, by seeing the plans only. Actually, you can see, actually this front elevation is the projection of this plan only, plan front side. You see, normally we will draw, this is basic concept, you know. Normally here it is not exact exact dimension we are not following here. Here this is enlarged. If you draw, in real case, if you draw front elevation, what you have to do is you can see here. The same thing you have to project here. You can project two lines like this. I hope you understand. So from this you can project that window. You can see here window. Here you can see the wall. Wall also you can project. That is the project. The wall here. The same way you can see that main door. Main door is visible in front. You imagine that you are looking the front side of this house. You can see that main door, that also visible here. Here you can see one small window also there, that also you can project and you can draw here. Then what you are seeing here, you can see, you are seeing one staircase also seeing, you can draw here. So this is the way you are drawing actually. Actually what you are doing is you are projecting actually. Whatever the things you are seeing the front side of that house, you are projecting in order to get the front elevation of that building. So that's why these two things are very much important. That is front elevation and second is the plan actually. So here you can see that one more thing very much important is dimension. Here you can see that here all dimensions in meter only, and all dimensions here given also. In specifications we have to give the specification on each building components. For example, you can see here MD represents main door. The size is given 1.1 into 2.1 meter. The 2.1 meter is the height. That 2.1 meter height you can specify here. This is 2.1 meter. I hope you can see here. This is 2.1 meter, but this width, this is represent 1. This represents 1.1 meter. This distance, that is main door. So in similar way, you can see D is there, D door, the door of the bedroom. It represents D, because these two D represent same door size. That's why we are providing D. D1 is the door size is very less actually, less door size. That's why D1 you can see here. So D1 is 0.75 into that. You can see D1 in laboratory. You can see this D1. Then ventilator. Ventilator normally we will provide in the laboratory. We will provide a ventilator. So ventilator also you can see here 0.9 into 0.45 meter. So when you draw the side elevation, you can you should mention that ventilator height and everything in that side elevation. So normally we will draw front elevation only because front elevation have more features actually, that's why. So this is one important thing you need to understand. So how, if I am giving one line plan or something, how you can expand that particular line plan and how you can utilize that line plan to project the particular building elevation. So that two things you should understand, and how you make the dimensions. Dimensions are very much important. Here one thing I will tell you, for example, how you represent dimension. Here bedroom, you can see the dimension, it represent like 2.1 into 3. What is the meaning of that? 2.1 into 3. This is the way you have to mention your dimensioning. Without dimensioning, there is no value of your drawing. So that's why dimensioning is very much important. So can you explain what is the meaning of 2.1 into 3? What is the meaning?
2.1 meter horizontal and 3 meter vertical.
Yeah. So this is called here you can see here, this is 2.1 and this is 3. 2.1 is the horizontal and 3 is the vertical distance. In every room, if it is 2.1 into 1.5 also the same way. You can say length into breadth. This is length, this is breadth. In that way it has to follow. In hall also you can say 2.2 into 3.83. So this represent 2.2 and this represent 3.83. In veranda also this represent 2.43 and this represents 0.9. So this way you have to make the dimension, inner dimensions of each room, and in addition to that the exterior dimensions also. Exterior dimensions, the wall to wall distance. Okay, from the external face of the wall to the another external face of the wall. That total distance. Here you can see that here 5.18 meter is the that length of this wall is 6.26 meter and breadth of the wall is 5.18 meter. So this is the way you have to mention this. Then you can see here that this one, this is called a main column. Main column. And another this one is called a stub column. Main column and stub column difference is, main column means a major load carrying mainly through these columns. Here you can see this many that columns are given in this figure. Stub columns also there. So you have to make the particular representation of these columns also. So this is, I hope you understand how that plan. Then one more thing, wall thickness. Wall thickness also very much important. Normally the wall thickness may be 30 centimeter or 0.23, 0.5. It always varies between 20 to 30 centimeter wall thickness. It always in between 20 centimeter to 30 centimeter. Maybe 0.2 meter or 0.3 meter. So wall thickness and door dimensions and everything. So this is the basic concept behind plan. So here your exercise is, this is the exercise I want to give. I give some 10 minutes break. After 10 minutes break, you can do the exercise. The exercise questions are given. So what you have to do is, I already discussed last class, without the book how you draw the plan actually. First you should start with drawing, then with the proper scaling and everything. I don't know, you should bring the things next class onwards. Without anything you can't continue this class. So your first your exercise I will tell you. I am giving some questions here, you just answer this. Based on the figure left, you can answer these questions. First you have to find out the carpet area or built up area of each room, then total plinth area of the house, then everything. So you can take 10 minutes break and you can start this, okay? Anybody have any doubts, you can ask me. Otherwise, you can go for break.
Determine step column. Like where should we place them?
What?
Sir, how to determine where should we place step columns?
No, you are asking about the step column.
Yes.
No, actually, step column means actually, you see, I don't know. In step column means that main columns and step column, the difference is it is not the part of the entire building actually. The problem is that major load is not coming into this step column. Here you can see this is laboratory in this space actually. Otherwise, in carport area also you can see step columns actually. Carports also you can see step columns. The difference is nothing, that everything is same only, but this columns doesn't have the function of main column because major that load carrying capacity is not coming to this step columns actually. Always in buildings you can see some veranda area we will provide step columns, or carports area we will provide step columns like that. So mainly in outer, it is always external face of the house only we will provide step columns where the loading is very less actually. But here you can see the entire structure loading will come into this all walls actually. These are all wall columns actually. But step columns, it is a little different actually. It's column only, but it is not the main column actually, because the loading coming to here is not much compared to that main columns. That is the only difference actually. So anybody have anything? So you take a 10 minutes break and you can come. Different built-up area is different. That is not or, that is and actually. What is the carpet and built-up area? You just change there. It is not and, it is not or, it is and. Okay.
So built up is total, carpet area is
Carpet area is excluding wall thickness. Plinth area is you know that including all wall thickness. That is the entire built-up area. That is plinth area. Okay.
Sir, are we supposed to write all the answers on A4 size and then submit it?
I already told you this is the way you have to do. This is your exercise 1. You have to buy a book like this actually. But the A4 size book is there, you know, that large size book. Maybe it's a drawing book like that, A4 size book in this format actually you have to buy it. So this is a portrait form, this is landscape form. So in the landscape form you have to do the drawing part actually. I hope you understand. Finally you have to scan and give it to us actually. This is the easiest way because you can utilize the maximum space in landscape format. This is the way you have to do, like that. Next page. Next page. Then AutoCAD, when you're drawing, you can send that soft copy. You can convert that into PDF format and you can send me. But in this drawing, you can do this way. I hope you understand. This kind of books are available in market. The large size book is there. A4 size sheet book is there that you can buy. Okay, in that way you can do this. Wall separated by window or door. You see, that window and the door is a part of the wall actually. I hope you understand. Window and doors are a part of the wall only. So accordingly you have to calculate. Accordingly you have to calculate.
Sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, will the door jump area come under carpet area?
What's the question?
Sir, the door jump area.
Doors?
Sir, that area will be included in carpet area or not, sir?
You see, carpet area means only you have to calculate the inner dimensions actually. Okay, inner dimensions, you avoid the door area. Door portions you are not supposed to calculate actually. Okay. Only the inner dimensions. Avoid all doors, walls, wall area, wall thickness, door thickness, everything you can avoid.
Sir, that cupboard thickness also, no, sir. In kitchen, cupboard dimensions also we have to neglect.
No. Cupboard, if it is wall cupboard, you can neglect. Suppose that cupboard is outside, actually, you have to incorporate it. You just see in that figure, it is wall cupboard or it's outer fit. If
Sir,
it is
it's outer fit.
wall cupboard means you just avoid that.
Okay, sir.
Just to look into the figure. What I'm discussing is whatever the things come inside the wall, you have to avoid that. I hope you understand.
Okay, sir.
Only that inner dimensions, that only you have to take care.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, should we draw the diagram and solve the question?
What here?
Sir, should we draw the diagram and solve the question, sir?
Yeah, actually you have to draw the diagram also.
Okay.
Because you see that drawing diagram, I already told you, you have to do the scaling purpose. For example, here you can see 5 meter and 4.98 meter is there. Otherwise, total dimension you can see that 5.18 into 6.26 meter. So that suitable scale you have to take. If suitable scale means you can convert into, for example, 1 meter into, otherwise 30 centimeter into 1 centimeter. In that way, you have to convert the scaling, then only you can draw it actually. Proper dimensioning you need to know. Actually, the exercise means it's also a part of your exercise actually. Because here the major thing is that because you should know how to dimension the things actually. That's why I'm telling. So that you can draw later also, but you can calculate that that question answer you can do now. That you can, but when you submit the full assignment or the exercise, you have to draw that plan and section also, and not section, that elevation also. So that also you have to complete actually.
Okay. By today we should submit us.
No, I will give time. Not today. You can submit it later also.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, how do we find the number of beams?
Number of
Beams.
peaks of
Beams. Seventh question, columns, beams.
okay, beams. Okay. That you should answer me.
Sir, each of the whole wall. No. Oh.
No, my question is where you normally provide beams, sir? Abhinav.
Sir.
Where you provide beams, sir?
Like if it's a long wall.
Long wall.
Like or over the doors and all.
The doors? What you are telling here? Doors over.
So because we have a column to column.
Anybody can say where we provide beams?
So across the
column to column.
Columns actually. You see that you know that actually. Beams are supported by columns. You already studied.
Sir, that's what. So between each two columns, one beam. That's what we have to add.
Yeah, that you have to know. No, that is a basic concept in civil engineering. Because in basic civil engineering you already studied the role of column, the role of beam, the role of slab, walls, foundation, everything. That you can show here in plan. You can show that where the positioning, but you should understand that it is there. Because whether column is there, you can understand those things actually.
Sir.
Yeah,
sir, here inner walls are also 0.23 meter.
1 second. Inner walls dimension is given there, no? What is the dimension? It's a 0.23. It's already given. You can see there. You see the dimension in last 2.3 only this. Because you can see that column dimension only, that wall dimension now. Both are same only, 0.23 meter.
So what is the dimension of D?
Dimension of the beam means you can see there that dimension of beam. So dimension of beam where asked?
So dimension of D.
I'm not
D
getting.
and O.
Huh?
Dimension of D and O. What is it?
D and O is there. Their reference there. You can see there. D is 0.9 into 2.1 meter. O is 0.9 into 2.1 meter.
So it's 2.1 meter is height or what?
Height actually. 2.1 meter is the height. 0.9 meter is the width.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Then stub columns also there, but stub columns I already discussed. There is no footing actually. Main columns there footing is there. Stub columns no footing. One Anirudh asked how we calculate the built-up area of the rooms with the common walls. You see, Anirudh, I already discussed. You see the figure. I hope it is visible. This figure. Now you can see here. You see that I am asking about what I am asking actually. Built-up area of each room actually. Built-up area of each room means this is built-up area of this room. This is built-up area of this room. Wall means whatever the sharing you don't care actually. That room particularly what is the built-up area. Sharing is not a matter actually. My question is specific here. For bedroom, what is the built-up area means? For bedroom, this much is the built-up area. But if you are, my next question is entire built-up area. Entire built-up area case actually. You will get the common what to say build-up area. I hope you understand.
Sir, we don't know the number of stairs. How we will calculate the threads and.
You see that you have to calculate from the dimensions only. There already dimensions are given. What is the meaning of thread and riser? This is thread. That vertical distance, horizontal distance is the thread, and that height is called riser. That you will easily get from there. The dimensions you just minus and plus you can get. Why I am giving this question, you should understand what is the significance of this dimensioning and everything. That's why.
Total area. Oh, wait, total area is left. Just of the bedroom.
So anybody got anything? Answer anything? So can you tell me? So one person asked how we can take carpet area, what you can exclude. There is one IS code is there. IS code, what is that IS code? IS code name is 3861-2002. That IS code clearly mentions in carpet area and plinth area what you can include, what you cannot include. That you can refer that IS code. It clearly mentions what you can take for carpet area and plinth area. That you can refer it. So anybody can complete it. You can share whatever it is. Because I already told you this is your first exercise. You have to submit this all as your. Sorry. Hello. So anybody, what I am not getting any response. Are you doing or not? I have to ask randomly then. So this is your first your exercise. You please complete it and submit actually. So what is the answer you got? What is that overall built-up area? What answer you got? Overall built-up area.
29.2132.
40?
29.2132.
39.213. Everybody got the same answer. Otherwise, you can type the message box also. The answer you can type in the message box also. Okay, somebody still doing. Okay, anyway, you complete it. Okay. You got 22. 22, 1 second, I will check it out. One thing. 22 is very less. Just check it out, some mistakes there. 22 is not the right answer.
Sir, 36.1828.
Somebody got 30.249. Somebody got 22.32. I am asking about total built-up area. Entire built-up area of that particular building. 32.213. Everybody getting different answers. I don't know why.
So 79.
79 never possible. Who got 79? 79 never.
Sir,
possible.
36.
36. Yeah. 36. I need to check it out actually. Then only I came to know. Most of the people got 32.4268. That is the common answer I found in here. Common answer is 32.4268. Nirbhav Singh, in built-up area, whatever you included, that you just inform me first. You included the carpet area or not? Not carpet area, that veranda area you included or not? That's my question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. That staircase area you included or not?
No, sir.
Okay. You see, there is one normal rules and regulations for plinth area is there. 1 second, I will share it actually. Where it is? 1 second. Share my screen. Yes, sir. You visible my screen now? Is it visible? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, here you can see this is IS 3861-2002 Indian standards actually, IS code actually. Here actually they are given the definition of plinth area, carpet area. So here they are telling what you have to include, what you are not include in measure for the purpose of plinth area. The following should be included. That all the things they are giving here. Okay, staircase you can include, internal staircase, an open veranda also you can include. So these all things here, that following things shall not be included in plinth area. That also given. That also given here. Okay, the terrace, for example, terrace you can't include it. Then open staircase you can't include it. Open spiral service staircases you can't include it. The machine room or any kind of tower, or any kind of other tower structure, open platform you can't include. So you can see here, that's why I told you, for anybody have any doubt, you can refer this IS code, measurement of plinth area. So I hope you calculated accordingly. I don't know, I haven't calculated, but anyway, 32.4268 is the common answer. I hope so. Okay, anyway, you submit it. When you submitting, one more thing I want to inform you. In submission, you just include that the drawing should be there. The drawing should be means that plan should be there, that elevation should be there, and all the answers should be there. All the answers means I haven't discussed every answers. 1 second. It's already 5:10. 1 second, I will discuss one. Total plinth area we discussed. So what is the meaning of dotted lines indicate? Anybody can say? What is the meaning of dotted lines indicator?
Window shade.
Yeah, that is sunshade only. Mainly sunshade actually. That is window shade actually. Okay, normally that is you have to keep in mind. Normally while doing drawing, you always showing this sunshades in dot lines actually. Sunshades and the section. This here one more thing is there VB. We can not VB. Yeah, this one section is it is showing this one cutting line you can see through these walls and this staircase. That is called a section line actually. Section line. Okay. Then what is the number of walls which face north south? What is the answer? What is the number of walls facing north south? North or south? North and south. What is the walls? North and south. How many walls? Anybody can say?
7.
Yes, north. How many walls actually? This is, where is north? This is, you can see the diagram. When you draw this, what to say, the direction is very much important. The north arrow is very much important. You have to mention north arrow here. Okay. So here, how many actually? 3 walls are here. You can see 3 walls in north faced and south faced. How many walls you can see? South faced also 3 walls only now. How many walls you can see? 1, 2, 3. 3 walls only. 3 plus 3 you can see. So how you got to 7? I don't know. From where you got 7? Huh? Somebody, Dilraj Saini, where is the one more extra? From where you got one more extra? I don't know. Eh? I don't know. You see that wall means in between columns wall will come. I hope you understand. In between walls actually column will come actually. No, walls will come. What is the number of doors and windows? That is simple only. I don't need to, you know that already how many doors and windows. Because then door representation and window representation is clearly given normally. For the window representation, this is the symbol normally we will use actually. Okay, you have to use one hatch line in between actually. In that, this is the way you represent windows actually. In AutoCAD also you represent windows in this form actually. Then number of columns that I don't want to ask. That also it's clearly mentioned. Number of columns. What is the thread and rise of staircase? Any answer? Thread and rise? What is the thread and rise? Staircase, thread and rise, anybody calculated?
So 17.727 and 13.31.
Unit?
Centimeters.
1 second. Thread I also get 0.23 plus 0.23 plus 0.1 plus 1.1. 1.1, 1.2, 1.2 plus 0.23, 1.43.
1.43, sir.
Yeah, then I don't know. You people are all telling wrong answers to me. 1.43. That is the thread. What is the meaning of thread and rise? Thread, you know that the staircase, that horizontal distance actually, that is thread. Rise means what is the step height? That is rise.
0.18.
Most of the students wrong answer only. 0. What is the rise?
0.18.
How 1.8 you got? You tell me.
Sir, from elevation I got.
From elevation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. 5 stairs are there. 5, 90 centimeter. 90 by 5, how much? How much?
18 centimeters.
What is the thread you got? A thread? Thread is
1.43, sir.
1.43. That is right only. But somebody is getting thread is 0.225 meter. That is wrong actually. Somebody is telling 300 mm rise. 300 mm is wrong. The rise you can calculate maximum 20 centimeter. Here in this figure, particular figure, you can see that I will show here. You see here. The rise is maximum. You can calculate that way only. You just check it out actually. You can see here. This distance you get to. You see this distance you have to calculate. That is give the total thread. The distance from here to here. That will give total thread. Rise means this distance. This distance between two. You please check it out once again. Most of the people wrong answers only. Thread is nearly 1.43. 1.43 meter is the thread. Ahmad, your answer is wrong only. Okay. Okay. So anyway, you please check it once again and you recalculate and you submit the correct answers too. Okay. So some people are getting right answers, some people are getting wrong answers. Please recheck your answers and submit the correct answers to me. Anybody have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay. Anybody have anything, any doubt, anything you want to clarify, you just ask me. Okay.
So explain how to calculate thread and rise.
Thread and rise, you see the figure only. You see. This is your step. It's visible. My cursor is moving. You just see here. Oh, okay. I have to share my screen first. Okay, 1 second. Yeah, now it's visible. Now you see. This is. You can see this. You can see. My cursor is moving. You see here. This is your thread. Okay. So how you calculate? What is this distance? This distance you know that 0.23. 0.23, that is column size 0.23. 0.23, the dimensions you given here also given. 0.23 plus 0.1 is given here. 1.1 is the distance of this main door space. So the step is correct parallel to this actually. From here you can calculate actually. Are you understanding? 0.23 plus 0.1 plus 1.11. So that will give the actual thread size. That is 0.23 plus 0.1, how much? 0.33. 0.33 plus 1.1 we will give 1.43. You understood? So yes, you can calculate the dimension from here. Then rise means rise. What is a rise actually? This distance. This distance you can calculate from this elevation also you can calculate. The elevations there are how many steps are given, what is the distance is given here. So 90 centimeter divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. Then you will get the height of each step. So in such a way you can calculate the dimensions all. Then carpet area, plinth area I already told, you just check that building laws actually. In IS codes clearly mentioned, you have to include veranda and everything while you calculating this built up area. The only difference is here veranda height is very less. You can see in the veranda will finish here. You can see that is in front elevation. You can clearly the veranda height is up to 2 meters only. That is the only difference actually. That you can it is clear from this plan actually. Veranda height and everything. Okay. So you please complete this exercise and submit as first exercise. So while submitting, include all plan and elevation with the suitable scale you have to do, and you have to answer all the questions given in that exercise 1. I hope you understand. In between any doubt you can ask me also. Okay. Can I take the attendance? Shall we? Is it fine?
Yes.
Otherwise we can wind up this session. Is it fine? It's already 5:20. Okay. Anybody have any doubt? Otherwise we can wind up this session. You please submit it as a separate assignment. Don't forget this also. Separate exercise. Okay, fine.
Okay, sir.